Even underneath the freeway ramps, it's all manicured. There are flowers and bushes and patterns. And so the things that you see in most of the public places in Beijing are very, very nice. Tiananmen Square is the center of the city. It's about over half a mile long with walls, and finally you get into the middle part, which is the Forbidden City. It's kind of ground zero for China, ground zero for Beijing. They actually have done a pretty good job of public planning. I went to the Government Planning Museum just for fun. That doesn't sound like it would be fun, but it was actually quite entertaining because they, around the city, have built rings, just like we have routes around many American cities. But they built the second ring, the third ring, the fourth ring, the fifth ring. They're now on the sixth ring, but they have plans for the seventh ring, the eighth ring, and the ninth ring. So they're clearly planning for expansion. The downers for China were, when you come out, you kind of walk straight north from the south end, which is Tiananmen Square, and then you go through all the palaces, and you come out the north gate, and there waiting for you are all kinds of beggars. And these are not just ordinary style people that are poor. These are badly deformed people. And the tour guide that we had gone through the university, had pretty good English. Kept running into lots of university-trained people whose English was excellent. They're doing a good job there in the school system. But she had wanted to be a person that helped the poor people, and after running into these people, she decided she wanted to be a permanent tour guide. They do control the number of kids that you can have. Her comments are that's still pretty restricted, but it's creating a real problem for women, or for the guys, because everybody in their culture wants to have a boy. And so there are a lot of abortions, kind of illegal abortions. And so the ratio of men to women is out of whack to the tune of like 2 to 1. The economy there, we hear a lot about China, but it didn't really hit home to me until the first day when I sat there in the hotel. And it was a nice business hotel. It wasn't anything really out of the extraordinary compared to the typical business hotels here. But I was reading the newspaper, and there was an article about the upcoming job fair for graduates of computer science programs. I have a computer science background. And they said that the past year was pretty good, and that the average starting offer for a computer science graduate coming out of a place like the Technical University there in Beijing was $583 a month. But because of the collapse of the world economy, and this was back in November, that the new graduates should expect a starting salary of about $300 per month. So they're still way, way, way behind the amount of money that we have. It was interesting, in the hotel, if you bought like an orange soda, they would charge you $3.50. If you went out in the street and went in a little store and bought it, it'd be 30 cents. So clearly the hotels are jacking up the prices. Yes?
I noticed one of the pictures, you had Chairman Mao in the background. On the Olympics, I said nothing but Chairman Mao pictures. Did you see hundreds of Mao pictures?
No, not really. This is the south entrance to the Forbidden City, so you go through that tunnel. These were all defensive gates, like 4 layers of them before you get, but not that much on the Mao side. At the end, there are trinket purchase opportunities. If you want a Chairman Mao wristwatch, like a Disney watch, you could buy that. If you want, little red books, you could buy those, but it's not that pervasive. Yep.
Did you get out into the country?
I did not, but actually that sparks he asked if I got out in the country. I actually had 2 free days, and we had invited someone from Vodafone in the UK to be our customer speaker, so usually we pair up. Richard was adventurous. Richard wanted to know if in lieu of the second tour, we could just go to the North train station and hop on a train and get out in the countryside so we could see the real China. I was kind of up for that, but I thought we probably need to tell our corporate people what we're doing just so they don't freak out. And they were all over us. It wasn't a government thing. It was the fact that our CTO, who's pretty adventurous, did that 2 years ago. He had his backpack stolen, which included his passport, and all of his money. And so here he was 100 miles outside of Beijing, not knowing a word of Chinese, and not as many people in the outback, Lots of interesting things to do. This is a boat that we took over to the Imperial Queen Palace. The Imperial Queen was well regarded in the 1800s until she robbed the treasury to build the next new palace, diminished the amount of money for the Navy, and the Japanese moved in and took over China at that point. This is the Hall of the Singing Orioles. It's a typical corporate event, so we had lots and lots of people. At the time, this guy was our CEO who showed up for the event. That's me. These are customers. These are Travelocity people, Royal Bank of Canada people. At the end of this event, they had us dress up in the local king's costumes or whatever. So here's me, kind of red because I've been drinking. And that's our chief technology officer who got lost in China and robbed. And the head of our Asia Pacific group, who's actually a New Zealander named Peter. So some entertaining things.